the spacing and the line separation in the text file uh, is mostly ignored. So we can have different indentation in the text file, but this is mostly ignored in the browser. Here in the browser we see something like, this is a paragraph, there's nothing fancy, the text flows together. There are 4 lines in this paragraph. So in this case, it flows the lines together so that there only appear to be 2 lines. We can adjust the right, if we adjust the size of the browser, we can change the number of apparent lines. Okay. Of course we can change that. Here we can put a BR tag. This is a break, so this breaks to a new line. We can save this and then reload this page in the browser. And now what we see, of course, is at the end, this is broken to a new line. So we can control the way the text flows by using BR tags. Another pattern you should have noticed by this time is that these tags come in pairs. In this case, there's a paragraph tag and then slash paragraph. As before, there's H2 slash H2, and then corresponding to of course there's the head tag and the corresponding slash head tag, and the HTML tag, of course, corresponding slash HTML tag. Most tags in HTML occur in these pairs. There's a few that are not required to be paired, such as BR, and most of those have a slash at the end. Okay, now let's continue through our visit to this web page. Okay, so the next thing we have here is an ordered list. Basically, an ordered list is displayed usually as a numbered list, so you see item 1, item 2, and so forth. And let's look at our code and see what that looks like. An ordered list is surrounded by the tags OL for ordered list and then slash OL at the end. And then as we look inside there, what we see is each thing in the ordered list, we see a bunch of items. Each item is surrounded by LI tag and at the end a slash LI tag. And then finally, if we look inside one of those, we see the actual item itself, which in this case, there is a paragraph that is very short. So here's a paragraph inside ordered list item 2. This is the paragraph that is very short. And if we look at that in the browser, what do we see? Over here, it's fairly simple. It's listed as item number 2. The numbers are provided automatically by the browser. Here's a paragraph inside ordered list. And this is the paragraph that's very short. Okay, the next thing, and this is fairly important, is a table. So we look at that again. Here's a simple table. It has 5 rows, and this actually has 5 columns. If we look at the first row, second row, these names here are actually the first column, and then we have 4 columns of numbers here. So in our text file, let's see how we make that. We go in to this item, and what we see is the table, of course, starts with table tag, and then at the end, slash table. If we go into there, what we find is that it's divided into rows first. So each row, each of the 5 rows has a TR tag for table row and slash TR for the end. So each one of these has each row has a separate set of tags. And then within the row, each column within the row has a TD set of TD tags around it. So it starts with TD, ends with slash TD, and then you have each item. And in this case, these are fairly simple. We'll just open these up. What we see in this case is simply that each of our items here is listed. First row, the 1, the 2, and the 3, and so forth, just as is over here in our actual table. We see the first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So making a table is fairly simple. You can make it any size, pretty much any size you want as long as it fits. Okay, so we're going to hide that now. Okay, and then we'll go on to another thing. Let's notice this next item here. Item 4, it says that was a multiplication table. But notice how this text is positioned. It's out here in the center. It's centered relative to the page. So let's see how we do that. And you can guess it's probably fairly simple. We take a look at it. It's simple. That text starts with a center tag, ends with /center, so this centers it relative to the page. We'll hide that now, go on to the next thing. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we have is we look over here, we have something that says, the sentence has bold text, right? So over here, if we look, see how that's done, it's very simple. The B tag starts bold text, and then /B tag ends bold text. Very simple. Okay, and then the next item is a very small table. It's hard to see, but there's a table here that has just one row, and it has 2 columns, so it's basically that, and that's a table. If we look in the code for it, we see some very simple table. Again, a table with only 1 row and 2 columns. Okay, starts with table /table, and as you can guess, there's only one pair of TR tags indicating 1 row, and then inside there we have the 2 columns, each separated by TD tags. Okay. And of course we can go in there and look at the details. But we're going to go ahead and hide that. Okay, let's see how we do pictures. Pictures are fairly important. So here we have a picture. This picture is a picture that's on the web somewhere. Okay, and I've incorporated it into my web page. Let's look at how that's done. It's fairly simple. Basically, I went into the browser, found the URL for that picture, and let's look in here and see what I did. Okay, the URL for the so the code for an image. It's fairly simple. It starts with img, and this is a tag which doesn't have matching ends. So in this case, you could put a slash at the end of that. And this is a rather long tag, but it starts with img source, and it ends with a greater than sign as usual. There are some parts here that are optional that can be used to control how wide the image is displayed. And then the part in the middle here is in quotes, so notice the quotes there. And this part is basically a URL for the image where I found it on the web. Okay, so our time's almost up, so we're going to skip most of this and go to one thing that's fairly important.